Hello and welcome to Alpha. Don't, guys, I tried so hard. Welcome to Alpha Book Club. This is, gosh darn it, the best interactive book club on the internet. You can't prove otherwise. Hello there, my name is Maud Garrett, and joining me are some pretty amazing people that put a smile on my face, including the wonderful Rachel Hine and Hector Navarro. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you guys?
Good.
Give me a sentence.
Feeling good. I'm feeling clean.
Feeling pretty
Rach?
good.
Important. Yeah.
Rare and ready to go.
Wow, this is like obviously showing just how skilled and intellectual we are and excited to impart our knowledge onto you. We want to shout out to the community every single time you are here. It is amazing. We've got Shia, Mocha35, Fayum, Bucky B, 618. Hi guys, how is everyone?
Maud
It's always
really is
lovely to
the
have
best
you.
at this. She's so good
I
at this.
know, she really is. And
just the best
also,
of us
I
all.
saw someone is watching live for the first time.
That's so cool.
So welcome.
Hey,
Welcome.
is it precarious? Precarious? Like
Precarious.
precarious. Hey, anyway,
I was
before
like,
we-
it's Bruce.
It's
I was
Bruce.
looking at the wrong. It's like, wow.
That is a bad read. That is off a little bit.
Getting some love for my shirt. This is obviously my demon.
Your demon.
Hey,
A
before we
raptor?
get too deep into today's show, we're going to do this lovely feature that we've been doing, which is super interactive and means that you guys get to have your say on very relevant themes happening with the book. It's called Alpha Polling. So basically, we're going to ask you a question. It's going to pop up, and all you do is just click on the answer that you feel is applicable for you. It's only available for desktop users though, but we're going to be updating that one. And if you love it, let us know because, hey, cool new things are, guess what? Cool and new. It's amazing how that happens. Hey, by the way, for fun, let's get our audience's opinion on the first one. How would you rate the book now that we are halfway through?
Ooh, out of
And-
5 stars.
Yeah.
I want to play.
Yeah, where
can
are
we
you
do?
at?
Can we do 0.5s or can we? We
I'm
can, right?
sure.
It takes like an average. Okay.
Okay, where you at?
Where we're at, halfway through the book. This is your first read.
Yep.
I haven't read it in about a decade, and you've read it recently.
Yeah,
so we
I
are in
reread
3
it
different
2 years
Where are
ago.
you at right now? Where are you at this reread?
I'm
Halfway through.
at a 3.5
What?
Okay,
or
3.5.
4.
3.5 or 4.
Yeah.
I'm at a solid 2 right now. Maybe a 2.5, but it's a 2. I'm at a 2 stars. Maud, where are you at?
4.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like it too.
Okay.
Do you know why
but-
I'm listening to it? And I'm listening to it like it's a radio play. Guys, it's so fun to listen along. You've got Lyra who's talking up here and far decorum, he's down here. It's great, guys.
But can I say one thing I dislike about the audiobook? Because I did listen to a chapter.
Philip Pullman.
That's fine. Philip Pullman, whatever, he can narrate it. I like that. But what I don't like, and this is just a weird little, like a weird little like OCD thing, is that when characters are speaking, they leave out the
what he,
they
the
leave,
descriptor
they leave out
for,
the like he said.
Yeah.
Like they leave that stuff out.
Yeah.
So
Great.
I feel like I'm
Love
not
it.
actually getting the
Love it.
whole book.
That's why the
Yeah,
play
It's a
goes.
because it
weird
could be,
OCD thing.
there's also an emotion attached
Sometimes
to
there
it
is, like,
sometimes, or
he
there's an
sneakily
adverb.
said, or
Yes.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they just sneakily say it.
I know, but then but then for me it starts to move away from no. This isn't an audio book of the book. This is no.
Oh no, I didn't. I thought I did.
Okay.
I was trying
That
to
was
like
close.
really sneakily just like
you were
get
gonna
rid of this
sneakily
pillow.
say-
Pour wine all over yourself. Ooh, wow, Alpha Book Club is heating up here.
I'm sad that you're only at 2, and the only
Yeah.
reason I said 3.5 is because I think because I have an awareness for not just the second half of the book, but the rest
series,
of it.
yes.
That I'm waiting for it to get going, but I'm still really enjoying it. I love it.
You don't feel like it's
think
progressing
really
at a
fun.
great pace? You
Yeah,
don't think
I
that
do
it's
too.
full of adventure? We had a nice little twist that we're going to be talking about. That was like, whoa, did you see that coming?
All of that is happening, and I think I
Sorry, too.
talked about it a little bit last week. Is that I'm struggling to break into the language itself for me, the writing style and the language.
interesting.
It is a thing. It's similar to like Shakespeare. People have to like in the present day, unless you're a time traveler or Patrick Stewart or something. Even Patrick Stewart had this moment. There has to be a moment where you connect with Shakespeare. There has to be a moment where
Yeah.
you break through and you're like, oh,
It is a breakthrough
I get
moment.
it.
In
And
high
now-
school, I hated it. I
Right,
mean,
and
just
then-
say it. Why would you
Exactly.
build a garden full of flowers? We're at
so
3.8%.
then once you learn to love
3.8.
the language, you're in, you've kind of broken through, and this is not close to that level of
Yeah.
being different than the way we speak today, but it's still far enough away from the way that I speak and think that there's a little bit of a struggle bus for me to just kind of break through. But the things you mentioned, Maude, did happen in the story. The characters are interesting. The world is interesting. Audience seems to be digging it. Average
There we
is
go.
3.8.
3.8. So
Yeah.
we're kind of between the Rachel and me, really,
Yeah.
of it all. But no one's. Well, actually, that's not true. I was going to say no one's hating this book, but I think it was Monstein in the chat said it was like pulling teeth.
Ooh,
Can't get into
wow.
it yet.
That's
it's not
surprising
fun
to
at
me.
all. So, yeah.
And I wonder,
There it is.
I wonder why it is. Cannot get into it, and it feels like pulling teeth. I was also a little bit busy this week, and in the past few weeks, I've been doing a chapter night, but I was a little busy, so I had to do a good chunk of reading today, and that always makes it not as fun when you have to like, oh,
You're
I
rushing
gotta
to
catch
get
up.
through it.
That's how
Not
I
as fun.
read.
Yeah, me too.
I like to
don't
do
do-
a chapter a night
What?
or an episode
very
of a show.
Oh,
at
really?
night.
And you just stop?
Well, yeah, and then I just stop.
just stop
because
reading?
if I'm going and it's good, I like to stop.
What?
Leave them wanting more.
Oh man.
You know, as opposed to burning myself out or yeah.
Let us know in the chat.
That's where I'm at
Are
right
you
now.
also masochistic when you read?
I feel like mine, I wish I was more like that because I'm always so sad when I'm done with a book that I love.
Yeah, I'm
But I
enjoying
can't
it.
not do it. I've never been able to do that.
What I like to do is I read two things at a time. So I put the one book down, pick up the other book. Let's do a chapter of this one for tonight. Put that down. I got 2 comic books to read. I'm good on reading
I
material.
do one thing a night.
Yeah.
So I'm reading this and I'm reading now the second book in the series I mentioned last week.
Cool.
But no, even with Harry Potter, I felt like I should. When I first read them, it was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I have to savor this, and it's like one night
Yeah.
I stayed up all, So I don't get that.
I
but-
read the final Harry Potter book in one sitting.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
got it. I opened the book and then I
was
read
it.
the last page. And
Great
I
comment.
cried.
Great comment from Odie Fiddy saying, I feel like the second half of the book, as we move north towards Bolvangar and some more characters come out, you learn the language and really sink in deep.
Yes, I would agree with
So
that.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Sweet. So what has happened in the last little chunk? Like, how'd the book start? Well, it's all about Lyra. Now, she's a young girl living among the scholars at Oxford at Jordan College. And she sees one of the other lords attempt to poison her uncle. And she was like, don't do it. And then he saved the day. Hey, anyway,
Lord
there's a-
Asriel.
yeah, it's,
Lyra.
it's exactly it, guys.
I didn't want to tell you guys before we got into the show, but I
You're
actually do
Lyra.
all the voices on the audiobook.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so impressive.
Are
you.
you doing the voice of Philip Pullman as well, the narrator? The narrator?
she cuts to
Okay. Amazing.
I'm Philip Pullman. Why are you rating it a 2?
I'm sorry, Philip. I'm so sorry, Philip.
Did you watch the movie first?
No, I did not.
I know.
And
Did you?
now, no, I did not. And
Did
I
you?
did have the. I
Did
did
He's
have
not
this-
making eye.
I
okay.
Did you?
No, I did not. No, I did not.
How bad do you want to?
Cross my heart.
How bad do you want to?
Not badly, but I did have the thought. I wonder if I had seen the movie,
It would
if
still.
it would have enhanced this because this is well
Definitely
written.
not.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No.
Because I had a friend who she watched
No,
the movie
wrong.
John Carter, and she thought it was okay, and she's like, I feel like what the movie was based off of, there's more there, so she went and read the book and enjoyed it. Because it's almost like you're looking for a superior experience and something better crafted. So I don't know.
I can't get comfortable. You guys.
I'm sorry.
Like triangulate.
What's going on?
I don't know. I feel like I'm
Should we
sinking.
bring in a new chair?
No, it's okay.
A pillow underneath?
No, I don't know. It's okay.
You want to stand up? Should we all stand?
You know
We're all
what we
going to
should do?
stand, guys. We're just
No,
going to
no.
No? Okay.
Just drink all the wine.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
All
true.
right.
Hey, that's an Australian solution. Now, there's also a little something in this book called Dust, and it's been literally sprinkled. The information has been sprinkled throughout the book. Oh, slow clap for me.
10. No, I feel like you should get 10 points
Ooh.
for
For
am
House-
ten
House Mod.
House Demon. What are we doing this month? Still the same thing?
No, I mean,
Houses?
no, we're gonna do demons, daemons,
For Oxford.
but you know,
Do we have different? Are we at different colleges? Is that what the thing is
no,
now?
it's gonna be
No,
demons.
I knew-
It's
I need
not a
you to-
one-to-one. This is not a one-to-one to Harry
Nope.
Potter.
I need
It's
you
not.
to.
No.
Yep.
You got it.
So we still don't really know what dust is. It's super vague. We just know that there's shit going down in the north, basically, and there's cutting and severing.
Yeah.
That sounds like it's
I feel like
experimental.
I feel like it's crystal meth. I think is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the
Yep.
equivalent to like angel dust, crystal meth.
Yeah. I mean, you're so right.
Yeah.
Why
Booger
would you
sugar.
How
bother?
did you predict the end of this
Yeah.
book so well?
What can I say? I know what old
Are
British
you
white men
Philip
love to. Yeah, they love to write about crystal meth.
What if we're all Philip?
I'm Philip Pullman. Yeah, and then of course there's also the demons.
Dracula.
or-
What was that?
I don't know where it came from, but I kind of loved it.
I'm the
Philip
damn.
Pullman.
I mean, what?
What?
Nothing.
Hey, we've got demons or daemons. That should really be a poll as well. Is it a demon or is it a daemon?
That would be a fun one
We did it last week.
for which. Oh yeah, and people said Damon, didn't
I was
they?
there.
I think so.
Da-
Yeah, 'cause
demon,
it's-
and that's what it
'cause
says in
audiobook.
the
I
audiobook.
know, but I like Damon better. So I'm saying
Meh.
Damon.
Damon. Anyway, we are asking, we have drafted up a quiz. What would your demon be? We are all going to consecutively take the quiz. If you do want to participate as well, the link, I think Nerdist and Alpha posted it on Twitter. So click the link, join in, take a screenshot of what yours is and post it. I've already sneakily done it, but I'm going to do it again.
I think they added new questions.
They've added new questions. So we're all going to start. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first, but also afterwards, can I take the which male superhero is your soulmate quiz afterwards?
Hector, they're all your soulmates.
It's Peter Parker. It's Peter Parker or Steve Rogers. Okay, here we go.
I think mine would be Bruce Banner.
Yeah,
I guess mine's
I could see that.
Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could definitely
So
see that.
Thorable.
It is, especially the.
Please do the
especially
quiz.
Thor 3. Thor 3.
First
is
question.
awesome.
So
And
if you want to join
everyone
along as
in
well?
the chat, definitely let us know what you get. And also, wasn't sure if I was going to say this because I don't want to jinx it, but I am adopting a cat this weekend.
You are.
And yeah, and I'm going to name him Pantalaimon,
Pan.
Pan for short. And I'm very excited. He's a little tuxedo cat.
I'm calling him Pants.
Yes, you are.
Alrighty, first question.
Oh my gosh. Oh, read
Get
it out
up.
loud.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of bed.
The alarm rings. Waking up at 7 a.m. What do you do? Get out of bed and take your time getting your clothes, hair, and makeup ready to look flawless all day. Go back to bed for as long as possible before rushing out of bed and getting ready in 10-20 minutes because sleep is better than looking good. That's my answer. Don't have to read the rest. Did I click it?
Why isn't hissing an option?
How do
I'm
you,
getting up at 7 a.m. Yeah.
how do you feel about politics and current events?
Very interested, cautious.
That's an answer.
Meh.
That would
Oh, you
be
just
a
said it.
sad
Yeah.
sigh.
No, it's sad because I wish I didn't have to care, but I damn the man, power to the people. That's the one. Which of these cities is your ideal travel destination? Some more tropical and exotic, like Fiji, Paris, Tokyo, London. This is a good one. I'm gonna go Tokyo. 'Cause I'm a city boy.
Oh, that's a
But
new question.
in New York wasn't one of the. Which of the following would be your worst nightmare? Hunger, boredom, cold, depending on others. What?
It's actually
I
funny.
just realized I read that totally wrong when I was looking at it earlier. I thought it meant like it would depend on other things, but
Yeah.
but the answer is depending on others.
If you
which
could have any
markedly
superpower-
changes my answer.
If you could have any superpower, it would be teleportation, invisibility.
how I know I'm
shapeshifter,
like-
mind control.
chaotic neutral
Why?
because it's mind control.
Shapeshifter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's some.
What quality is most important to you? I've also
A good idea.
on
isn't
the, on the topic of
Yes,
superpowers.
it's a great idea, Maud.
In my experience, I think it's really interesting. Generally speaking, not always the case. Generally speaking, you ask a dude that question and they'll say super strength, flight, usually flying.
Flying, and this is
You
stupidest
ask a
one.
woman
Flying's
that
so bad.
question and they'll say like, they'll take it to the next level. Be like, the ability to manipulate time, or the ability to rewrite reality. Like you're just like, fuck, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Women are smarter, but it's always those kinds of powers versus like a dude that has that dude confidence because they're a dude and the world is like, I
wanna lift heavy shit.
Just like, an exhilarating thing. But women
We're
are
like,
like,
how do I gain control of the
advantageous
patriarchy?
yes, exactly. You can't do that if
That's
you
a
can fly.
constant
Yeah.
loop in my head. So yeah.
Next question. What quality is most important to you? Intelligence, creativity, freedom, morality. Oh,
I know this one
That's a
stumped
good
me.
one.
That one really got
Intelligence,
me.
Creativity. This almost feels like a Tinder quiz to set you up like who they're gonna. So it's like, what quality is most important to you? Most important to me in what regard? That like humans have that
That you would
that
personally
a
want.
What is the
significant other
most
would have that-
important quality
to me
Yep.
to you in a person?
that in a person, not necessarily to
Just
me.
answer the damn question.
But there's different ways to answer it. There's different ways to look at it.
What does your gut say?
1, 2, 3. Pizza.
It's gonna
Always
it's,
pizza.
It's,
Yeah.
it's gonna be morality. That's weird.
Oh.
Wheel of morality. Turn, turn, turn. What Hogwarts house do you belong to? This is some bullshit. Hufflepuff.
Still mad. 2 books in, Hector's still
Favorite
salty.
thing to do in your free time? Read, watch movies, TV. Watch movies, TV. In school, what activity or club were you most likely to be a part of? Oh.
I wish there was an option that said none of them.
Drama
I
club.
was drama club.
But debate team, but I didn't care about debating. That's cool. What's your favorite TV show? Lost. Lastly, what animal would you like to be your demon? Cat, dog, otter, raven. Oh shit, those are great.
But I mean,
gonna
knowing
go
that the
otter.
dogs means that you're subservient.
Choose your favorite guilty pleasure rom-com.
Ooh, there's new questions. Oh my god.
Oh,
13 going on
100%
30.
I know mine.
Practical
Oh,
Magic.
no.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Okay,
16
this is
Candles.
hard.
10
This is
things.
hard.
It's not at all. It's 10 things.
No, it's
No, I
hard.
don't like 10 Things I Hate About You.
I like, this is really hard. Not 16 Candles because it doesn't
Heath
hold
is
up.
great in it, but the main girl's dad is unrealistically a dick, and
Oh,
I
I like
Daddy,
him.
I hate that stuff. I'm like, you guys are the worst.
Where he makes her wear the pregnancy belly.
Yeah, it's the worst. I'll go with my dude Mark Ruffalo. Calculating results.
Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, 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 boop.
Let me just turn down the
Setting
Jarvis.
optimal. You can skip. Just skip.
Oh, but I want to know about the army.
No.
Should I be in the army?
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Pine Martin. Yeah, congratulations. Your demon is a Pine Martin. You're shy and curious, although it sometimes gets you in trouble. It doesn't take you much to get time to get ready in the morning, as you prioritize sleep over personal appearance. You have an uncanny ability to get yourself out of most situations, whether it's with your clever wits or a little white lie. When a friend is in trouble, you're often the first to come to their rescue. The only question now is, what will you name your demon? Oh, and this is what it looks like. What is this guy? What kind of animal is this?
It's a little like,
It's so cute.
Like a little
fox, like a snow fox.
ferret thing.
Yeah.
Snow fox thing.
can I do it now?
Alrighty,
course.
so we're going to continue the book chat while Rachel
Yes.
does. Now that you guys all know the questions and you can kind of get an
I see.
idea and comment and weigh in on it as well. And yeah, Hector, you make a good Hufflepuff, says Tibois.
Thank you so much. I will name it. I'll name that little dude.
What's your little dude's name?
What's my little dude?
There's one you prepared earlier on your shirt.
I'll probably
Hello.
name it.
Hello.
Jack.
Aw, what do I
Jack.
do?
Come on, Jack. Let's go, Jack. Express my feelings, but don't give them
Why
away.
Jack?
I guess.
Jack's my brother's name.
Is it?
Yep.
It's a good name. I've always wanted a Jack Russell Terrier to name it Jack.
Aw.
So we've understood there are gobblers. Gobblers are in town and they're stealing children.
Gobblers.
The gobblers will get you.
What is it? The General Oblation Board?
Yes, and this is something that Mrs. Coulter is actually the head of. She is running it because she's super charismatic and children flock to her and trust her and love
Sad.
her. So she steals
Sad.
children.
Yep,
And you
yep,
know that
yep.
she's quite evil. And you know this as well because of how her demon treats other demons, and she set her demon to attack Lyra's demon, which is just kind of torture.
And you've read this before.
Yes.
So when you say we know that she's evil, you know that she's evil.
Well, I mean, you know she's dangerous because she's stealing children, dude.
We saw her steal children.
Yes, but
With
I don't,
her monkey.
I don't know where those kids went. And I'm having a weird thing where I'm like, I'm worried that they're
It's
going to
not
do.
good.
I have a
Okay, but I'm the way that it. What is it? What's your question?
So in the club thing, so I was part of this. I guess it's probably more drama club than robotics. I was part of this thing. I don't know if anyone's heard of it, called Odyssey of the Mind.
That's Science Club Robotics. You put
Right?
that down.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's Bruce Banner, dude.
That's Bruce Banner.
You got it. Science
Favorite
Bros.
TV show? Duh.
Oh, you clicked Lost. No, it's Buffy. Yeah, Buffy's the one. That's it.
Although otters are pretty great.
I'm experiencing this thing where as I'm reading this, I don't know if I'm expecting a twist, but I don't like Lord Erised. And I'm
Asriel.
like, Asriel? What did I say? Erised?
like the
Whatever.
mirror.
Yep, you're still in Harry
The
Potter
mirror
land.
of Erised?
Guys,
Yeah, I
I
am.
think we've just really
What?
converted Hector.
Oh,
That's
cool.
not what I got before.
That's awesome.
I got the goose.
Golden monkey. That's cool.
Oh, you
That's
got the
just
golden
like,
monkey.
That's just like Nicole Kidman and her golden monkey.
You're stealing children. Rachel's the
gobbler.
gobblers.
My daemon is a golden monkey. You're worldly and smart and enjoy being up to date on the latest news.
Yep.
We bet you loved school and excelled academically.
Yep.
Not really, but you have a keen interest in politics.
Yep.
Maybe even aspired to a career in it. Nothing stands in your way and you work hard to reach your goals.
Yep.
Others compliment you frequently, whether it be your beauty or brains.
And everyone, tune into my Instagram story because that's what I did the whole time. I complimented you.
When a high-stress
You
situation arises, you are known to sometimes lose your cool. It happens. You're ambitious, sometimes ruthless in your pursuits, and extremely passionate about the issues that matter to you most. Any friend would want you on their side fighting for the same cause.
It's true. I'd vote for Rachel for president. She'd be a great
Okay,
president.
better than me.
What a
I don't
nightmare.
want that kind of pressure. Alrighty, so you guys talk about the.
So So yes, so we have the gobblers. We have Lyra kind of escaping Mrs. Coulter.
Lord Asriel, though, don't like him.
You
He's
don't
also-
like him.
He's also a dick.
I mean, yeah, he wasn't nice to her, and then
Correct.
we learn. Okay, so here's the dun 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 of this one. We learn who Lyra's parents are. Were you surprised?
The two people we're talking about. Yeah, actually, I was.
Yeah.
I was. It was a good surprise. What's going on? How do I take it again?
Go back to the Twitter page and then
Yep,
click on the
she's
link.
on it.
Took me too long.
Oh yay! A lot of other golden monkeys.
Really?
Like
You're
with
all
no
evil.
plot, Odofidi.
Fayum's,
You know,
where my
I-
goose crew at?
I think it's more the. I think I always have. I was talking about this today. I have a conflict with how I am now versus how I was when I was younger, because I was not super driven and I was like not a plant. You know, all of these things that I think I am now. But I still imagine
Yeah.
myself as that person who like forgets everything and
Same, yeah.
doesn't live up to potential.
all
Was on
my-
all my report cards.
Man.
I'm changing all my answers, by the
Oh,
way.
boy.
I feel different.
That's not fair.
I feel
Yeah, we
different
feel
now.
different
That's
every
not
day.
fair.
That's part of being
You
a
took
human.
it like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
She's changed since then.
I had
She's
2
grown.
sips of wine.
That's true.
Yeah, that changes everything.
Drunk Mod is like, Mod, unchained, unhinged.
I think, aw, T-Boys, thank you. I think too, it's like to take it back to Harry Potter, which if you are joining us for the first time, you can join along. We're doing book 3. We've read the first 2 books of Harry Potter, but thinking about Slytherin and how, you know, there are many more kind of shady people in Slytherin, but that doesn't mean that they're guaranteed to be bad.
Correct.
The whole nature for so having the golden monkey does not mean that I want to steal children.
course.
It actually sounds like a nightmare. I don't want them anywhere near.
I will give children away. I'll
here,
steal them to get
throw
rid of them.
chocolate so they run the other way. Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking that the way that this story is structured, where it's the perspective of Lyra, and she starts and she's hiding in that little closet in that little wardrobe, and she's peeking through, and then she sees a guy do this thing, and so she determines it's poison, and then we go from there. I was just worrying, like, I bet you this will turn into a. This is from a kid perspective. It's an unreliable narrator, and she actually doesn't know the affairs of the adult world. And Mrs. Coulter, she isn't kidnapping kids for malicious things, but instead she's like taking them and making them safe for whatever reason, or like that wasn't poison, that was actually this. And Lord Asriel wasn't actually a good guy; he's actually
got a
evil.
goose?
And
How'd you
Yeah.
know? Oh, look! A goose! Yeah.
That's what I got last time.
Congratulations, your demon is a goose. You love to travel and enjoy being far from
Yep.
home, experiencing
Yep.
new places. Some may say
Yep.
you're very intense.
Yep.
Not to my face, they won't.
Yep.
But you prefer to say focused. When you have a goal, nothing stands in your way. You have thick skin and you're able to take criticism fairly easily.
Oh, yeah, I
Also,
wouldn't do
your
that
sense of style is fabulous. Bird demons are pretty typically associated with witches.
I'm jealous. It's okay.
So you may also possess some magical powers. Something could have happened, guys. I mean, not really. Have you got my back or
Can you
what?
do a?
Yeah. Cool. Anyway, that's the quizzes. What did everyone get? Yeah,
Yay.
sick. I went
Who's-
from a thingo to a goose. What's the one you got?
Pine
That's what I
Marten?
had first.
I got a pine nut.
Yeah.
Can we scroll up? Odofidi said something that was really great, which I think ties into Harry Potter we've been talking about a little bit up. Lyra versus her parents is a wonderful allegory for nurture versus nature. Lyra's parents aren't great. Even her father is problematic, but she was raised without them, not knowing who they were, and in a place that allowed her to grow, which I
Yep.
really like.
Yeah.
And I love
had
how
she been raised by them, she goes on to say she would have been a very different child.
Totally. And
Absolutely.
I like how kind of there's the Althiometer talks about chameleons in this, but Lyra is a little bit of a chameleon in that she kind of adapts to her surroundings when she's hanging out with, you know,
She starts embellishing her stories.
She speaks in the language.
to capture
You
those
sound like you could be
Egyptians.
Egyptian, Lyra, but you're. What is it? You've got fire within you.
Yeah, I loved that part.
Yeah, and you're deceptive. And she's like, "No, I'm not. Ask anyone." And then
It's a
she's like,
compliment.
yeah, it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad
It's
thing.
not bad. It's a survival technique, and
Yeah.
she talks about having, you know, some sort of magic. And as we get into this, we learn that we have another sort of potential chosen one situation
Yes.
Yeah.
with Lyra, which is always fun, I think.
Yeah.
And
But what amazing advice, which is like, this is the chosen one, and this is kind of a Harry situation as well, but she must make mistakes. We cannot help her at all.
Yeah.
By the way,
she can't know.
the whole world depends on this girl.
So and they're like, so hopefully it just works out.
Yeah,
Because
good
if
luck.
she messes up too bad, we're gonna die.
The whole world.
Yeah, but we can't
Everything.
tell her.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Sure.
Yeah, but I feel like that's almost part of the chosen one sort of
Yeah.
trope as
It's
well.
not like you're
that
the
you
chosen one, and by the way, here is everything you need to know to be able to,
Right.
you know,
Then
fulfill
I
your
feel like you
destiny.
end up with an evil character who would take, like knowing that about yourself would change how you approach the world. But yeah, I think
if I was told I was the chosen one, I'd straight up vomit. Just, ugh.
yeah.
Like the whole world rests on your shoulders.
Yeah.
How
Oh.
I feel like
yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Just
I feel
actually
like I
think
would
about
be
it for a
like-
second.
Yeah.
You're in like, I'm picturing the Pentagon. Maud, take a seat, and I'm like my hands are like on the table, and there's just pools of sweat just dripping out, and they're just like, by the way, the whole of the world relies on your decisions and your choice, and whatever you do has the power to either save everyone
We
or
can't.
everyone
And
die.
we can't help you.
okay.
There's a part of me that would hear that and go, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That checks out. That
Well, yeah,
makes
if-
sense.
I feel like-
and I guess we'll just play it out.
If
And
you
whatever
were in-
happens, happens.
I feel like if you, like I think many of us in book club ever felt like an outsider, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
why.
that's why.
Yeah, you'd be
Got
like,
That's why my existence
like
is
if
my
someone
existence.
was like, you are going, you
You're
got bit by a
special.
radioactive
Same
spider.
thing.
Yeah, you'd
Yeah.
be like,
when I was
got
a
it.
kid, I was like, am I in the Truman Show? We've all had that thought.
Oh, yeah.
After we saw the
Yes.
movie, we're like, am I in the Truman Show? Is this an alien experiment? Is
I
everybody in my
still
life a
feel-
hired actor?
I still feel like
Maybe.
that all the time.
Yeah. I think
Especially when I was building my couch by myself.
what does it mean if
was
I don't?
Hilarious.
What does it mean
What?
if I don't?
I don't know. Maybe it means that
I'm not
you're
paranoid.
arrogant. But Rachel and I are normal. I think that's what that means.
So cool. Hey, if we get it up
It's
to
the opposite of that.
Game-
Get it, Maude? That's the joke. Is
It
that
means
Rachel
that-
and I?
yeah,
if
we
we're
think
the
the
center of the
world
universe,
revolves
and I
around
made a
us,
joke.
yeah.
It was a sarcastic. It was a humorous thing because it was the last thing that you would expect. That's how humor works. It's the
Whoa.
last thing you expect, and it pulls out the rug from under you. And I was in effect complimenting Maude.
Yes.
In her.
this is what a physical backpedal looks like. That was
Yeah.
No,
awesome.
I thought he was being mean, but I get it now, and I actually,
I'm going to be honest, I didn't listen to him after whatever he said.
I think that people who
was
are
like, you're
more
done.
confident are less self-involved.
I'm sorry, hold on. I'm shit. You have a thick skin and you're able to take criticism fairly easily. Ha ha ha. It's all good.
I explained my
Also
joke. I was
intense.
complimenting you.
Hey, this is it. Game Wizard 001 said Asriel may not be a great father figure, being absent and didn't try to raise her, but Mrs. Coulter doesn't actually even care about Lyra unless she has a use for her. Asriel at least gave her freedom to find her own path.
But does Mrs. Coulter know that that's her daughter?
Probs. She seems to kind of be switched on
That's
with everything.
what they.
Hint at?
That's what is implied, and also I feel like
I need more information.
they're both, from all the information we have right now, they both seem shitty, just in different ways.
Yeah, they called me Mod, M-O-D. That's so cool. That's what it sounds like, though. But yeah, one's my friend. There it is. Good recovery. Can we talk about Mark Costa for a second and the Costas?
Yeah.
Because you actually did a beautiful quote on Twitter about Tony Costa's description on
Demons.
settling, the settlings of the demons. And it's like, if you actually want a stallion and instead you get a fish, and you're just like, what the hell? Do you want to page 167, I believe?
Yeah, it was page 167. Nice, good memory, Maude. Holy shit! I did it because our friend here in the office, Alicia Lutz, took the test, and she was like, "Wait, it says I'm shy."
Which
And then I saw that on Twitter as I was reading this paragraph, and I was like, "Oh, that's perfect." But Lyra asks, "But suppose your demon settles in a shape you don't like," and then Costa says, "What does Costa sound like in the audiobook?"
Well, he talks
Also-
like this when he's going to talk about Mark Costa, right? He's like, do, like that.
What the hell accent is that?
What it is?
What is it?
Yeah, that's how they talk. They go a bit like this. That's
Okay.
all I'm doing. I'm still
Well,
doing it, and I
then
don't
you're-
want to. So there you go.
But suppose your
Right.
demon settles in a shape you don't like. Well, then you're discontented, ain't you? There's plenty of folk as like to have a lion as a demon, but they end up with a poodle. And then till they learn to be satisfied with what they are, they're going to be fretful about it. Waste of feeling, that is.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We
it
are
applies
putting
to
a
life. It applies to our life.
yeah.
That's true.
Be happy with what you got.
Yeah, accept it. Accept it.
And accept who you are, I think, too, because I think we talked a little bit about the first section about how it was weird that the servants had dog
Yeah.
demons. And, but I think there's a difference between that kind of implied caste system and not thinking that you can improve your station or whatever, but accepting who you are as a person and the qualities that you have, because you can't necessarily change that. Or even like, you know, when I was growing up, I was like, God, I wish I wasn't tall.
Yeah, but real talk for
Oh,
a second,
I wish
right?
I was.
So, right, real talk for a sec.
Yes.
If your demon
I wish I
settle,
was wearing pants. That
if
looked
you-
I was a little bit taller. I
wish I was a baller.
I was a baller, yeah.
Wow.
Your demon soul
Yeah,
is
okay.
intertwined with your own. If your demon gets hurt, you feel the pain.
Yes.
Your demon settles as a moth, which is super fragile. The chick was a
wait,
butterfly.
but
Like,
wait.
how bad would that be? You were like, I am every day. I'm seconds away from death.
Yeah, but Lyra's pantalaimon hasn't settled as a moth yet, right?
No, but this woman, the reporter, the journalist who crashed the party, she had a butterfly. So anyway, we're asking about, do you think the Costas are trustworthy? If you're on a desktop, make your vote
know.
count there. Basically, Lyra has been told to keep secrets. She really has no idea who to trust. She's
Yeah.
realized her parents aren't really her parents at all, and that, you know, these two people that she thought were relatives or lovely, not at all. She's finding out all of these really, really abrupt and full truths that are rocking her world. And yet, with Mark Costa, it's a maybe. You
Yeah.
guys settled on maybe.
I'm with Lee in this one. Lee said in the chat,
Yeah.
I don't trust anyone in this book. And I'm also there so far.
Life with no plot
like
said
that
for some
one.
reason I trusted the Egyptians straight away, right away.
Yeah.
I think it's really telling when you've got a leader figure who everyone respects so much.
But he's still withholding information. They're still withholding information from Lyra, and then also to protect her. But you're like, but what are your guys' end goal?
But then they're also rallying money, gold, and men together to fight the war to get children back,
Yeah.
and that is,
Yeah.
you know,
And you
straight
see
away.
their conversation when she's not there. The difference too between this and Harry Potter, which we keep comparing because they're chosen one stories, but we've been reading them, is that we only get Harry's perspective, and really, for the most part, until you get to these big reveals. Whereas so far, we have confirmation that Miss Coulter was stealing the children instead of hearing it from someone else.
Correct,
So we
because we
do
have
get
that
to see
narrator.
a few
Yeah, sure.
of those.
Yeah.
So
I just still feel like I don't know what the bigger picture is yet.
yeah.
With everything, right? With
You
the world,
don't.
with the dust. So I don't. So because I'm there, I'm like, but what if this book is going to be one of these twists where it's like, Mrs. Coulter was saving children all along because if they stayed at the college, they would have been killed by, I don't know, whatever. It's maybe I'm reading too much into it, but yeah.
That sounds like an Agatha Christie twist.
Might be. It might be.
It does. sound
Stephen
like
says, the Egyptians have a positive society and I trust them, and the bear. What a great sentence.
Irek.
Yeah.
Irek? How do we York? How did they say it in the book?
Ooh, well this is a game changer for me because Game Wizard just said the bear is the best. Lorik or Ioric, voiced by Ian
Yorick.
McKellen in
Yorick?
the film,
It's
is a
Yorick?
great
Yep.
choice.
Yorick.
That is not
I
a
don't
Y,
remember that.
but
Yorick.
voiced by Ian
Yorick.
McKellen.
I
That
don't
is
remember
okay.
that.
Now I'll hear that from now on.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
the bear's voice in the audiobook is actually
That's
probably
not
the
what
worst
I
one.
would have thought.
Yeah.
What does the bear's voice sound like in the book?
It's trying to be deep, but it sounds like this.
See, I would have preferred. You should have killed me when you had the chance, Charles. That would have been great. Coming from the bear.
From
no?
the bear? I always pictured like a
It's my favorite Ian McKellen line. It's so weird.
who's like a really like burly, scary big dude.
Oh, Ian McKellen for sure. Hands down. Vinnie Jones. I don't know. Who played Juggernaut in X-Men 3,
Oh.
Yes.
X-Men The Last Stand. Now I'm just in X-Men world.
Yeah.
I don't know, big buff guy,
you ever leave?
Michael Fassbender. James McAvoy. Shit. Definitely Jennifer Lawrence. Shit, no. Big buff guy. It's got to be a Brit,
Femke
right?
Jensen.
Femke Jensen, yeah. Awesome. Okay, big buff British guy.
Can we talk about the Althiometer?
Yeah,
a little bit?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I actually
I
really
brought
want to
my-
touch. I just kind of really want to touch on this. Stay Peaceful,
go ahead.
89.
Go
All the
ahead.
adults in the book always seem to have an ulterior motive for
Yes.
Thank
interacting
you.
with Lyra.
Thank you. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
And that
Not a
does
fan.
cause. Yeah.
She's like a chess piece to them,
And a
to
child.
whatever this end is, and we don't know what that is because she doesn't really know.
It's funny that you say chess
that
piece
is.
because was it Farda Coram who was saying that he'd played chess or the other guy, forgot his name already. Whoops. Saying that while she was reading the Alethiometer, it was like when you're playing chess and you are
Say that again.
yep
Althiometer.
Althiometer.
How do they say it in the book?
Alethiometer.
How do they say it in the book?
Oh, I haven't
Alethiometer.
gotten that far.
How do you say it?
Alethiometer.
I don't. I just
The thing,
say
the-
it. I know, but I just say it in a brain. I don't pronounce it.
Yeah, I know.
don't
I was like McGonagall
'Cause I
like
didn't-
5 books.
I didn't get
I
to
never
the,
actually
Yeah,
spelt
no,
out
that's
McGonagall.
true. I guess
I
it's because I've been
Mr.
saying
Professor
I
McGonagall
always thought it was
again.
althiometer.
Althiometer. That sounds right.
What did you say?
Alethiometer.
Oh, because yeah.
Ooh.
Alethiometer. It is.
Oh,
'cause-
because you're from
yeah.
Australia.
Let's.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Hey, which character do you trust the least? We are asking you, and get your desktop clicking buttons happening. Lord Asriel, Mrs. Coulter, or that's him, John Farr.
Mrs. Coulter for sure.
Lord Farr.
That monkey is mean.
I
If
don't
that's your
know.
Damon,
Yeah.
Maybe-
100% Mrs. Coulter.
I'll say this: I don't know if we're supposed to understand that Mrs. Coulter knows that Lyra is her daughter. So I
Mrs.
kind
Coulter
of.
cheated on her husband.
but she took her from. They know where she went because of the huge. This Lord Asriel killed her husband and then took her, and there was a huge court case basically, and then they took her to Oxford. So
Yeah.
she
So
knows.
then Mrs. Coulter shows up. The master gives her, even though he's not supposed to.
So what
Probably.
what
But then Mrs. Coulter was manipulating him to give her up.
Basically, the elders basically said, we assume that whatever, I just lost my train of thought. Whatever that her going with Mrs. Coulter is better than whatever the alternative is
Which was staying there because she's in danger somehow.
somehow.
Yeah, from the gobblers.
And tried to give her a
Yeah.
tool,
Right.
however
to keep
we
it
pronounce
secret.
it, to keep it secret, but something that
Alethiometer.
Yes, that
Alethea.
tells the truth, which I think is really interesting in that we don't know what's going on, and everyone is telling her that no one can read this without this amazing book.
Yep.
And she's like, I think I figured it out.
Yeah, I can feel
That's
it.
cool.
But
I know,
again,
I
this is
love
like
that.
this is what happens with the book, where it's like, hey, here's this sort of device with like 400 symbols on it, and they all mean 900 different things, and you're just like, well, how the hell? And then all of a sudden, she's like, I figured it out, and you're like,
the innocence of a child.
oh,
Well, yeah, totally. I think not putting the pressure on yourself that someone else given that task would do, thinking sort of just like, well, I thought about this and this, and then that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like when you see a kid like a toddler with an iPad. You're like, oh, okay, they figured it out.
Yeah.
It's all intuitive, and they're just playing their game. And I'm like, man, I couldn't even do Nintendo when
Yeah.
I was like 3 years older than them.
Well, young minds too are much more malleable.
It's true.
If you learn 2 languages at first when you're a child, you will generally learn languages easier for the rest of your life.
got it. That and Lyra's the chosen one, so
That's true.
yeah. The witches have been talking about her for centuries.
Yes, and we get a little snippet of the witches who are fun. I like the witches. Not just because they're witches. But
They're on their way to go see the witch, right?
Yes.
yeah,
Cool.
Seraphina.
Cool.
Hector, what do you think dust is?
Myth.
I don't know.
Oh, right.
I don't have enough information. I'm not giving myself the opportunity to like deep dive think about this stuff yet, because I think I'm thinking like, oh, it will all will be revealed. You know what I mean? I'm not giving myself the opportunity to I'm not giving myself that conspiracy board brain where it's like, what's happening in
If
the north?
you were
what's happening
to,
with the
though,
kids? If I were to.
Gun to your head.
we're talking about.
Let's talk about dust. What's the
Yeah.
parameters again? What is it? What does it have to do with children? What does it
So
have to do with the
it's
children
showing
that
it
the
near
gobblers are
in the
getting?
north.
It's showing in the north?
Yep, it's appearing in the north.
Okay.
This is where it's sprinkling on down.
Okay.
It affects adults different to children.
Okay.
So you have prepubescent children.
Are able to not be affected by it or
Yep.
maybe killed or ruined by it?
Yep.
Okay.
That it showed up around 10 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
And that it's a resourceful commodity.
Okay. How is it a resource? How is
And
it a resource?
the-
Well,
And-
they're literally harvesting
Yeah,
it.
and
there.
the
For what purpose?
And right, we
Collecting
don't know.
Okay.
The
Yes.
oblation board and
It's a terrible name, the oblation.
Lord Asriel
Both want it?
are both want it.
Okay.
The oblation board is more related to the church, and Lord Asriel has been researching
For science.
For science.
Here's what I think it is. From what I know very vaguely about the overarching thrust of this story and world, and from again the very beginning where they're like, this book is set in another universe. The second book is set in ours.
It's
and from
it's
what we learn
crazy to
about
me that
Lyra,
that is in there.
I love it. I think it's great.
I think it's helpful, especially it
Yes.
kind of throws you into
And I
the
was
deep end.
thinking
But when
about-
I read this the first time, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What's
I was,
going
I was
on? I
thinking
have no
about more
idea.
famous examples of that. Some of my favorite examples of that are obviously a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
Just sets it up, and
It was
it's
a dark and stormy
perfect.
night.
It was a dark and stormy night, and then in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, when that director Richard Meyer,
No,
What is it?
It was Nicholas Mars.
Nicholas Meyer, who like didn't like Star Trek, was hired to direct that film. He said that he'd put this thing at the beginning of the movie for his parents, for them to understand, but really he did it for himself, which was in the 23rd century. Same thing as a long time ago in the galaxy far, far away, in the 23rd century. Mon, do you want to say something?
Yeah, Double Geek Girl apparently dropped some huge revelation bomb in the chat, and everyone's freaking out over it. And I just wanted to know what it was.
Oh, okay.
I thought I was being subtle.
No.
No.
Um,
It's the opposite
oh,
of salt.
everyone, look up the meaning of
People who haven't
coulter.
read-
Only if you've read the book. You
The book
can't look
already.
it up.
Because we had
Okay.
Mrs. Kylo Ren say that just even hearing the name Mrs. Coulter just sounded like evil, cold. And so
Yeah.
I was like,
Ann
you know,
Coulter,
Mrs.
yeah, she's a horrible
Cold
human being.
Her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, she's
Yeah, yeah,
cold.
yeah.
in the
Oh
north.
my God.
What is it?
Yeah.
What is it? Can you say it?
No, we can't
That
say it.
quick-
Don't look it
quickly?
up. Don't look it up.
You got it that
If
quickly?
you haven't read the book, don't look it up.
I'm
You have-
looking it up.
You have to-
Were you punching in your phone COU and your phone was like, did you mean the meaning of the golden compass? Is that what happened?
I wish. Then,
So fast.
well, no, I don't wish, because then Google would
Yeah.
really know what my whole life is, which it already
Uh-huh.
does.
I think dust is a way to access other dimensions.
I know.
How quickly are you guys getting this? Let me see.
No.
No, don't
All right.
don't look it up if you don't know the ending.
Wow,
Or
okay.
the
I
rest
went to
of-
school with a chick called Coulter. I don't trust her.
Oh my God, that just blew my fucking mind.
What is it, like German for like steals and eats babies? What the hell are you guys, what did you discover?
That's Krampus? No. I'm just kidding.
Krampus. That is kindergarten. Yeah.
Cool. All
was
right,
just
there you go.
children.
That was fun, guys.
That was great. I want to look up all the names now.
I love it when that happens, and I
Yeah.
know that J.K. Rowling did a lot of that with like the Latin terminology for a lot of the spells.
Star Wars too is the spells definitely, but
Han Solo.
Tyrannus,
Dark Father.
Insidious, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Plagueis, the Wise, can't
Plagueis
forget
the
him.
Wise.
Darth Vader, I think it's Dark Father, I think.
Yeah.
Or the Indominus Rex in Jurassic World. Mm-hmm. Right?
So anyway,
right there.
Yeah.
they've
Right
travelled
there.
via ship to the north. They're meeting with the representatives to the witches. The witches here are calling gobblers dust hunters, and they are even further to the north. So at the moment, currently standing, if we had a board, they're in the north, but 4.5 days journey even further north is where their camp set up, and they are
And
collecting
something
dust.
is happening there. Meanwhile, Lord Asriel has been kidnapped and is being protected by armored bears
Yes.
who are like thugs for hire.
Yep.
Which is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armored polar bears that are like
can
gangster
talk.
thugs
Mercenaries.
for hire is just
So cool.
awesome.
It's like the bounty hunter scenario,
Yes,
you know?
yeah,
So
it-
cool.
They're just paid in fish and Coca-Cola bottles. That's all they like.
I'm gonna make you the polar bear.
Yep.
We need to help the polar bears. It's very sad, but in real life. But
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's tragic. But so meanwhile, they're looking for an armored bear, and I love his introduction where it's just like
He's
he's in
shit-faced.
a bar. I
He's in, like, an
love
alleyway.
Yorick?
Yorick?
Yorick.
Yorick.
Okay, because we're
Like from Why the Last
oh
Man.
sorry. Yep. I'm playing with my. I don't wear jewelry a lot, so I'm like messing up. Yeah, I know.
Mine
I know. I
keep
got it.
falling off.
It's cool. I don't wear a lot of jewelry. I'm really excited about this. It's
it
like
a
my own
time
fidget
turner?
fidget spinner. Well, I wore it because it kind of also reminded me of like a
golden
mini
compass. Yeah, it's a golden
althiometer.
compass. Cool.
But what I was gonna say was, oh yeah, that he's just drunk and I need to get my armor back, and I just adore him.
It's awesome.
was
It becomes
tricked.
a video game quest.
Yeah.
I'll
for
help you
sure.
if you go and get my
Side
armor.
quest, yeah. Yep.
Side
yeah,
quest.
the
that's
team.
true.
Yeah. We are. I'm asking a poll right now. What do you think happened to the children taken by the gobblers? Are they turned into the dust? Are they killed? Are they released? They're the three options. What do you think? Obviously, it's not good. The armored bear has even heard of the gobblers, calling them child cutters. It's not fun. No one loves that. So, what do you think? I think that they are experimented on. I forget.
Yeah, but I don't know to what end. I haven't thought about it yet.
I think that they're harvesting demons.
Oh yeah, because we learned in this section there's a whole thing about people that don't have demons are like wrong. Like
Yeah.
everybody has a demon.
I thought that was
It's
a really
rule
funny
of the
note.
world.
Yeah, when it's like when you mentioned that someone didn't have a demon, everyone was like, and the demons like shuddered, and everyone was like convulsed by like that.
And you
So that's
don't
gonna
touch
pay
anyone
off.
else's demon, which is like a good rule to like don't
Yeah.
touch other people, but like
Or their pets, yeah.
but that idea of this like insane intimacy between, you know, either your soul or your ego, like depending on if we're. I love this because, you know,
That means
we've
ours
talked
would
about.
be a dude. We'd have a little dude.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you'd have a little chickie.
Yeah,
Aw,
and
he's
it's
so
sort of this
cute.
yin and yang sort of thing,
little
the
girl
something
ferret
to
thing, yeah.
complete you. But I also find, and I bet Java Book Geek Girl would agree with this. After going to Catholic school, I personally felt like I was an atheist for a long time. Then I kind of opened it up to agnostic. But in college, I took not many, but several religious studies courses because I find the idea of religion and science trying to answer the same questions really interesting.
Yeah.
And so this, you know, like people who talk about the Big Bang, there are a lot of, I don't remember the term, it's something like spiritual science. There's some term, someone in the chat will probably know it, about people who are like, yes, the Big Bang and what we talk about in religion are the same thing, and
Yeah.
da da da. But I like that this other part of you, whatever you see it as, is so connected to you. You feel its pain, and if anyone else touches it, it's like the deepest. You're crossing the biggest line.
Yeah.
That's like reaching into someone's heart or their head.
Yeah.
And,
And
you know.
yeah, she just knew it from birth. She doesn't ever
Yeah,
even
that's how
remember
everyone
being
is.
told it. Yeah. Yeah.
I just find that.
I'd love a little
fascinating.
companion.
I know.
Wouldn't that be great?
You have one.
That's true.
Little Zelda.
And I love her.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
I know.
But like, she's not here, is she?
No.
No, yeah, they are
We
always
had a
with
nap.
you.
We had a nap this afternoon, and we spooned. She had spoons in. Oh, guys, it's so
We had a
cute.
nap. Yeah.
Or the fact that the witches, this is interesting, the witches don't have to be super close to their demons. And when we
Yes.
hear the story of
Seraphina?
Seraphina, at first they think that she doesn't have
Yep.
her demon there. And they're like, oh my God, what's wrong with her? But witches, for some reason, can be further apart from their demons. which
That's
is
why it was
interesting.
just so interesting, like when they're on the boat and people whose demons settle as dolphins means that they have to be on,
Yeah,
the, on the
on
water
the
the
sea.
whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine like having that choice made for
It
you.
reminds me of Pokemon too. The way that characters in that world, humans, have these Pokemon companions, and it's like if you have a water Pokemon, yeah, dude, you gotta have a boathouse. You gotta like you should live near the water because you can't like live in in Oklahoma and be like, Star, you go. Like that thing's gonna be so pissed at you. Yeah, it's just gonna just dry up and die.
Aw.
But that's why fishermen are always
That's where
like,
the
want
dust
to battle,
comes
and they just
from.
have a bunch of fish. Yeah, that's
There
where
you
the
go.
dust,
Dust
comes
is
from.
actually decimated Pokemon.
I agree. I don't know where it started, but there is a very valid discussion about the genders, the sort of gender split of people and their daemons, and that it's kind of heteronormative. But there is
I
a
didn't
character
think of it like
who, I believe, who doesn't have.
Who has the same
who has-
gender?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And somebody in the chat said, I thought I
yes.
read into that as being like homosexual.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing.
Which I think is because I think the idea that you only can have the other gender is very limiting. So I like that is part of the not just the
rare
discussion that we're having, but
if it's
that
a
it's
rule
in
of
the
world,
world, that it's
if
in the world.
You can break that rule if that's a rule of the world. If you tell me that Vulcans don't emote, Spock will cry like all the time. That's part of it. That's good storytelling. I want to get something off of my chest too. I felt a little bit weird throughout the book reading the word Egyptian.
Yeah.
And then a thing that even felt even weirder was when we get to page 155 and they get that crazy little demon thing that's not alive but
Oh
it's
yeah,
not dead. The
the
insect beetle thing,
beetle.
whatever
Oh,
that
yeah,
is.
yeah, the spirit.
The moth thing,
I
the
pictured
spirit.
like in the Mummy, the like scarab
Yeah,
beetles kind
same.
of. Yeah.
But we get to that, and Farder Coram says, if you was to crack it open, said Farder Coram, you'd find no living thing in there, no animal nor insect at any rate. I seen one of these things afore, and I never thought I'd see one again this far north. Afric things. There's a clockwork running in there, and pinned to the spring of it, there's a bad spirit with a spell through its heart. Afric. That was weird to me. That we are hearing Egyptian, which is part of the word Egyptian, Afric, which is part of the word African. And I'm looking at this and I'm going,
It's just language from like 150 years ago.
but this isn't a book from 150 years ago. This
It's
dude
set
wrote
earlier,
it.
like, you know, there's-
It's set earlier, but there's still mention of Holland, and it's still. All I'm saying is that those two examples made me feel as if it's a very sort of Eurocentric fantasy world that Philip Pullman is pulling from, and those two things kind of have negative connotations to me as I'm reading it. Even the Egyptians, they're like
I don't
lower
think that-
class. I was immediately
I
when
thought
I
of
saw
like a mercantile situation. Like I thought of it more as the way that they traveled, but I
I
will
immediately
say,
pictured Egyptian people. I immediately
No,
went
I
to
pictured gypsies.
Yeah, which is
which
also
again
a slur,
also kind
but-
of it's like a slur, but it's also kind of similar of like, okay, even gypsies will be like
Dude, I only found out after
browner,
moving to this
darker.
country that you
Yeah,
can't
no,
say
it's,
I got
and it's
gypped.
and I
didn't
and
know
I
that was true.
honestly,
I had no idea.
it's a longer conversation,
Yeah.
but there, I will say, to refer to the very first thing that you read before you start the book.
that it's another world, which is
And
absolutely
and then
true.
after it
I
goes,
don't get a
"Don't
negative
be
connotation
offended."
from the Egyptians at all.
Yeah.
I feel that way too. I think it's just like we're
gypsies.
thankfully hardwired to be like, but
Yes.
they're
yeah, I went right
there's
to
a lot more to explore in this series than you would think.
And the thing that's very interesting to me is that if there's an alternate universe that still has similar countries and similar history to a certain point, does that mean that in this alternate universe that there were still things that happened where Europe sort of conquered different colonized places? You know what I mean? I'm interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get into that kind of history in this world? I don't know.
You have
Do-
to say Roma.
Yeah.
Yes, Romani is
Romani
the
or
because
Roma,
they have
yeah.
the nomadic lifestyle of
I had
the
no
yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
You can say that. That's a thing. But a lot of people are saying that gypsy feels like Egyptian to me.
Yeah.
But I went right to Egyptian because I'm just like missing one letter.
Yeah.
and
Right?
Africa
And then
was
it-
the same.
The
Afric,
way that
I'm missing
they,
2 letters.
They're
and
nomadic and that they're
Sure. Yep. Yeah. I immediately
sort of
went.
traders.
Everybody in the story up to this point, maybe except for the help, but maybe including the help, at Oxford College and different places in Europe and different places in London were mostly white characters. And then we meet the Egyptians, and I'm like, oh, okay, these are either the gypsies or the Egyptians. They're darker skinned people. They're maybe darker people. And then with that Afric thing, I went to like, are we using this? I remember a few years ago in the United States, Africanized bees was a thing. That was this sort of like weird language that was happening in the news where it's like, what are you saying? I mean, Key and Peele have done sketches
Yeah.
about this where black ice became a thing a couple years ago as the most horrifying type of ice that would freeze over and super dangerous and slippery. So this is all part of the exercise of like looking at language and what kind of connotations it has. And if Philip Pullman is coming from a place of like, I'm a British guy, I wrote a European-centric fantasy story, and he's using certain words because it makes him the same way J.K. Rowling does. She knows what she's doing. I'm looking at this and I'm just like, yeah, well, I wonder what we're supposed to be feeling when we see the word Egyptian. What kind of images are we supposed to be conjuring up? Because we do go off
I
of.
think family and like a
Yeah.
tribe and your people and this sort of I
Yeah.
only get positive feelings from that.
Sure.
It's like the
I think it's a s-
Pikeys from Snatch. You know, the Brad Pitt's character? That.
I think it's a super valid point, but I also, and I'm interested to read it again as I learn as a person,
Sure.
different, how language works and connotations that different people have, but I do think that you will be, if you continue with the series, there's a lot.
I don't think it's
More to
using it to
explore.
cause offense.
No.
Right.
Or
but-
or for a negative connotation. I think it's
Yeah.
more expanding the world and the magic in there. And we've
and
only
going-
been in these
there's-
places
There's
so
not
far.
just this sort of alternate universe Europe, but what is Afric? Did he mean African? Is there a country? Is there a continent called Afric
Who are
in
the
this world?
Who
Who
are
are
the
the
like
Tartars?
those are
Yeah, they kind
those
of.
are good questions to be
They're
asking.
hinting at the stuff. He's dropping us hints, and it's like some of it he's pulling from our world, and some of it's totally different. So it's
They're good.
So,
they're
you
good
know,
questions to be asking. But
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. I mean, Mini Mark has just explained why I'm learning things all the time. I wasn't aware. There you go. That's kind of that's interesting. That's fascinating. But guys, we've got to read more of the book. So homework for you. You're going to be reading up to the end of chapter 17. So read through 17. You're going to be reading to the end of part 2. So stop at part 3. Svalbard. Svalbard. Oh, what was that? It's Svalbard.
oh, we're
Svalbard.
about to meet one of my
I
favorite
keep saying it. It
characters.
doesn't sound cooler. Don't forget, though, we're also on Goodreads. Just search Alpha Book Club. Come discuss books with us. And we have a couple of people who are constantly in the Alpha forums as well, talking books through there, knowing that it's going to be spoiler content and conversations. Hey, if you haven't as well, we have a 60 free day sign up for Alpha. So tell a friend if you want to sign up. Our promo code that they can use is
very good
Parcel Tongue. So get your friends in the chat. If everyone loves reading and wants a book club, who's doing it? Emma Roberts is doing a book club now called Bellatrist. Book clubs are bloody cool. We want cool people to join our party. Parcel Tongue, 60 days.
Emma Roberts is all right, right?
Sure.
I was on an airplane with her once, and she seemed real, like, snobby and
If
detached.
you're
but I'm
interested
like,
in-
well, you're Emma Roberts. I don't know what your life is.
Join-
You probably do it a
Yeah.
lot. Good for you. Take it easy.
Be on the show as well. You can Skype in, join us as a guest on the show. It's super easy and cool.
Set aside
Just
time.
tweet us at Join Team Alpha using the hashtag Alpha Book Club and be like, yo, I want in. And Lost the Numbers, aka Lee, he's going to get you all set up so you can be on our show. We would love to have you. And we need book recommendations as well. So send them to @Nerdist, @Geek and Sundry, or @Join Team Alpha. Again, the hashtag is Alpha Book Club. That's it for today's show. We're going to see you next week. Don't forget, read chapter 17. Bye. Rawr.
All right.